Hey you guys, it's your sister Truth Seeker back online giving you guys the next episode of the Sheards. That will be season 1, episode 6, The Bitter Sound of Sweet Success. Okay, you guys, in this episode, j.drew is having a signing party to celebrate him getting signed with the label. Okay, his flyers, however, are worldly. Got bottles of liquor on there, promoting liquor, and his family is feeling some kind of a way upset about it. He's been going down a very secular path lately in this season, and his family is very much concerned, as are his brothers and sisters in Christ. We definitely don't want to lose anyone in this end time season. It's not that time to fall off the wagon, you guys. Alright, so we're going to continue to keep him lifted up. But his father in this episode took him around the ruins of Detroit, different parts that were just not good, to show his son this is what becomes of a worldly lifestyle. This is where you can end up at the bottom in this certain area, if you keep going in the path that you're going, But of course, j.drew, he is totally not trying to hear it. He says what he's going to do with his secular money is give back to Detroit to help restore it, and yeah. Basically what he's saying is that he wants to live his own life, and that's the message that he's trying to convey to his family and to anyone else. Like, hey, I'm my own person. I want to live my own life. I'm tired of this church stuff, is what he actually said in the last episode. So that's another reason why we're keeping him lifted up. But anyway, he said he's just going to give some of his secular money into Detroit. That's a lame excuse to fall away from Christ, because the Lord is rich. He could definitely prosper us. We don't need the world's money, or success in order to live. The Bible says God will supply all our needs if we serve him, and seek his righteousness, right? So in the next episode of the segment, Kiki is talking about sneaking, in her words, okay, away to surgery to have that surgery for weight loss, which I definitely don't advise. That stuff is dangerous. But she wants to get that weight off, She ended up going to see a weight loss doctor, and he weighed her, and he told her that she was 114 pounds overweight, and that she was actually morbidly obese. Now, she was better than me, because I wouldn't have let that get across the airwaves. That wouldn't have been put in front of nobody's TV set to learn and hear and know. No, I'd been like, y'all, no, y'all gotta erase that. And her reaction was just, oh my God, I feel like I want to cry. And I feel her, because sometimes, weight can creep up on you. When you're not paying attention, and until you get, want to go somewhere and get into that outfit that you've been saving for a special time, and you put that thing on, and it's then turned into a medium, on you right before your very second of trying it on, man, that's when you done got caught up. That weight done crept up on you. So I feel her. I know what she's talking about. Wanting to get it off, but definitely not through surgery, Kiki. That it's just dangerous. But in the next segment here, Bishop Sheards, who is their father, they end up bringing Holly, the manager of Kiki, calling her into his office, pretty much calling her to the carpet for those couple episodes back when she took Kiera to see that worldly producer Rodney Jerkins' Dark Child, and he basically told her to tell her brother to kick rocks and don't work with him anymore. You know, that information got back to her dad, and he wasn't pleased about that, so he was checking her. But honey, Holly wasn't having it. She said, I'm not afraid of you. You bring me into this big office and you trying to intimidate me because you're, you know, Bishop Sheard, honey. I'm not intimidated. You brought me, you know, and hired me in here to do a job, and that's what I did. You know, I'm Kiara's manager, and that's what I was doing, managing. And all I could say to that was, okay, you know, I understand that you are doing your job, but there's a certain level of respect, you know, that you're supposed to have and cool, you know. And she's very outspoken. I'm all for that, speaking your mind, but she should have respected the a little bit, you know, had someone there, you know, with Kiara. Kiara is signed up under a label who has managers, and she was supposed to, you know, let those managers of the signing label know what she was doing with that interview, that meeting with Rodney Jerkins. But she did it, so that wasn't a good look. And I think that was something the father was trying to convey. You know, she needed a little bit more respect. In the next segment after the commercial, j.drew walked in to his signing party, and honey, it was scantily clad, women dancing sexually and drinks being poured all over the place. It looked like a rap video, you know, or something, some type of celebrity overnight, you know, Twister video. It was, yeah, honey, I was in the world before I got saved. That's what all I remember was going on in them videos, honey. It looked just like one of those videos, okay? He said that he was not going to drink, because if he was caught drinking, that it would be the end of the world. He didn't want to mess up or besmirch the legacy of the gospel family, the Sheards. So come here, boo. Let me talk to you for a second. Let me ask you this. So you can have a hell party set up in the south side of Hades, invite, entice, and tempt people to come there to party sinfully, but you won't eat any of the sinful food because you don't want to tarnish the Sheard name and make the family look bad. But you dancing all up on a girl's booty in the thing, what in the video, look just like a video. Show life, j.drew. Anyway, in the next segment, Kiki was chatting with her girlfriend about her ex-fiance from 2 years ago, Welton Smith, she said. He is a pastor of a small church near Hamtramck, Detroit. I actually used to attend his church and was a member of his intercessor team back when they were engaged those couple years ago. Kiki used to come out there and visit. Her girlfriend asked her when was she ready, if she would ever be ready to get back in a relationship with him. And she said, hey, 2 years. You know, let me get my career together, you know. And her girlfriend was like, 2 years? You might as well stay broken up. You know, he's not going to wait that long, you know, her girlfriend was saying. But I feel Kiara, you know, definitely get your career, you know, going, because, honey, you're young, and if that's something that you want to do, whatever it is, marriage and you know, that's going to be something that you're going to have to give 100% to. You can't do both. You know, you definitely, I personally, I don't believe God has called any woman to go out and be on the road and away from her family, her husband and children, you know, talking about singing, you know, and everything. No, you sing at home. You know, stay local or something if you're going to get married and things, you know, because that's your first priority, number one, you know. aside next to God, you know. And plus, you know, quite frankly, I really don't feel that they're a good match. I feel that being personally knowing his personality, very prideful. God has a lot that he needs to do with that vessel. You know, very, just quite frankly, pimping the pulpit. That, you know, God, he's able to clean, you know, anyone. But I think that with Kiera being as like innocent little lamb, you know, for me, that's how I see her. Very like naive and, you know, just sweet and innocent. Not like she doesn't have any sin, but I'm just saying, I put in my mind, I believe, get a feel for her and j.drew as being, they're spoiled, and, you know, they have a mindset to me of the age of like 14 to like 16, 17-year-olds, you know. Just innocent and naive, you know. j.drew is 22, Kiera is 24, both grown adults, and, you know, can be out here doing whatever they want. But I just think that, like the Bible say, God look over babies and fools. So I just think that if their relationship is going to work out, if that's something, you know, that's meant to be, if some changes need to be made, you know, and some prayers lifted up, you know, unto God for him, if he's going to be her husband, and her as well, you know, if she's going to be fit to be a wife, you know. So if that's going to work. But definitely, Kiera, don't be so quick to get back into that relationship. Moving on. It's so real, y'all. I mean, it's like this. Like, a lot of us, we have little girls. You know, I have a daughter myself. You know, she'll be dating pretty soon. And it's like this. Let me ask you this. If you knew that your daughter was dating and everything, you allowed her, and you had the choice between her, you know, she seemed to be attracted to this one boy who is very cunning, very slick, and when they're talking to you, it's, oh, yes, ma'am, you know, yes, sir, sure, you know, and he's very slick. But on the other spectrum, you know, away from you, he very, you know, yeah, you know, smooth talking your daughter, you know, like a wolf in sheep clothing, you know. You're not going to want your daughter to be in league with that, you know, because, you know, your daughter have a sense of innocence about her and naivety, and, you know, easily led, you know, with a strong person, you know, trying to lead them. You will have concerns. So I pray that God send her the right man, you know, to fall in love with and be well with in her soul and spirit, and a good match. You know, I don't think a wolf is a good match for a lamb. But that being said, moving on. Because Kiki didn't go to her signing party located in the south side of Hades in the last segment, j.drew decided to throw another party for Kiera, one that she can attend, just a little small get-together on a boat. I was cracking up because Kiera was like, I ain't no fool, j.drew. What kind of girls is going to be there? So I can know whether or not I'm going to have to go and hide out in a cubby hole somewhere once y'all get to acting up. You know, and I was cracking up because that's some just typical, you know, brother, sister, you know, the sister knowing her brother talk, you know, and everything. So I felt her. So he was just like, oh, it's just a small get-together. She was like, mm-hmm. So in the next segment after the commercial, Kiera and Karen Clark Sheed, which is her mother, was talking. And Kiera asked her mom if she felt that if her career had slowed down because she got married and had a family. And, you know, if she felt like she reached her peak in her career. And her mom said, oh, no, I don't think that I reached my peak, but I also don't think that my family has slowed me down either. You know, but Kiera, you know, she was pushing the point to say, well, you're not where you wanted to be, you know, right now. And it's this so far in your career. So evidently we have slowed you down, you know, which she made a good point. So her mom just, you know, gave her this loving mom look and a hug, and they went on. But Kiera, she you know, made a good point. like I just said, if you have a family and you talking career, no mix, honey. You got to be that mom and that wife first. Everything else last, except for God. But and going on in the next segment, Kiera ended up getting her test results back via a letter from her doctor on whether or not she was a candidate for gastric bypass surgery, and she found out that she was, in front of her brother and her cousin. Her brother went off on her. He just said, "Stop being lazy and get in the gym. You talking about having gastric bypass surgery to get the fat off. What's wrong with you?" As only a brother, can get on his sister. And he was absolutely right. Kiera gave him more excuses than a person going to jail. That's me. I'm going to give you an excuse why my fat butt ain't about to run on nobody's treadmill. That's why I will drink my apple cider vinegar. And yeah, Kiera, you need to get with me, girl, and so I can put you on that apple cider vinegar diet. Okay, look it up. 56 pounds, your girl. Okay, so I will drink me 3 capfuls of that. Okay, y'all know the video. I made 2 videos. Y'all go ahead and find that video and everything. But moving on. My point is, I understand what she's saying, and everything, but definitely on a serious note, j.drew was, very emotional, and he was reminding her how their mother, Karen Clark, actually had the surgery, and she almost died. That's one reason why I've been always leery about having that surgery, is because I don't want to die yet. I don't want to die for, trying to look good, be vain, only if it's a life or death situation where if they're like, you know what, you done got so old, beast and big that we got to do something quick, So, yeah, for the health purposes, but not for, haughty purposes or trying to be pretty. But anyway, in the next scene, they threw a small get-together on a boat. Like j.drew was saying, they had mostly like little pastors' wives or daughters and sons and stuff. People Kiera would be comfortable around. And they had a conversation about whether or not Kiera should go gospel pop or pop like Katy Perry. And for those of you who don't know, Katy Perry used to be a Christian gospel singer. And then somebody pointed out that she ended up kissing a girl and she liked it. So now she's pop. And j.drew, he was yelling, she's going to go pop. And Kiera said that she wanted to be like Katy Perry. I couldn't believe she said that. But she said, but in a gospel way. Okay. j.drew was telling Kiera that was the problem. All of this quote-unquote church stuff, as he called it, and that she needed to pretty much step outside of the box, and that's the end of that. I'm feeling some kind of a way, scared, about it. I'm worried about those two. There is no taking gospel to another level. There is no other level other than the secular level, and that's where they're both headed, so we're going to keep them lifted up in prayer, you guys. We don't want to go the way of the enemy, be easy prey for him. That's how, as we saw with Katy Perry and many others, they started off singing just gospel. Her father, Katy Perry, is a pastor, and he actually recently was quoted as calling her a child of the devil because of her music, and he felt she was possessed. And that's what happens, after a while. So, you guys, it's so real. But I'm going to wrap this up because I got a part 2 to do. Talk to you guys in the next segment for part 7 of the Sheards. I'll see you there. You guys have a great moment. Truth Seeker out.